freaking getting all them TCs wrangled up. How freaking cool is that? All right, so the 50-year mortgage is such an interesting concept, and I think it's genius. I have a deal that I did a couple of years ago in 2021. It's a 43-unit multifamily deal that the seller wanted more money than what a bank was willing to provide in financing for me. And so, of course, this is how every great creative finance deal works out. The seller says, I'm not going to budge on my price. I need to retire off this number, and I need my family to be taken care of. I won't go into the story because I've gone into the story 100 times. It's the Rosewood Apartments in San Angelo, Texas. And Rosewood Apartments in San Angelo, Texas, this seller, his name is Mario. A lot of you guys have heard Mario on calls before. Mario is awesome. He really wanted $3 million, period. He was just like, I'm not going to budge on the $3 million. I need the $3 million. And I've kind of planned out my retirement and my family's, savings. And so if you can do 3 million, we can do the deal. I'm like, I'm not going to do 3 million unless I get seller finance. And more importantly, unless I get 50-year seller finance. You want that much money. So the problem with San Angelo is a good market. It's not a great market. It's a good market, not a great market, meaning it's growing, but it's not growing really at the speed I want it to grow. And I take over his stuff. I take over his 43-unit apartment complex. Good morning, everybody. Let me mute everybody real fast. I forget that sometimes, and then next thing you know, you get people coming here and unmuting themselves. Good morning, everybody. So the 50-year mortgage is interesting because I've been doing this in creative finance for quite a while. I've done 40-year, 50-year. I've attempted 60-year mortgages, but I haven't got a seller to agree to that yet. But I got this seller in the Rosewood Apartments to agree to a 50-year mortgage. And what did that allow me to do? It allowed me to own the property without worrying about the payment being too high. Okay, so Rosewood Apartments in there we go. So these 43 units right here, we're replacing actually all the roofs right now, which is nice. The property cash flow is about 18 grand a month. There's 43 units, and half of my tenants are nonprofit. The other half are Section 8. So it's kind of a lower income area. And this property he wanted to sell for $3 million. It's pretty good. 43 units for $3 million. The problem is in San Angelo, Texas, that's about $200,000 more than what I should have paid traditionally. What do I care? If the property cash flows, I don't have to put any money out of my pocket. I'm going to own the thing for a long time. I'll let the thing pay down, which will be nice. But more importantly, I can cash flow the property. And that is what was so great about the 50-year mortgage, is that the 50-year mortgage allowed me to have a lower payment. So a lot of people on X and Twitter are fighting over this, talking about like, oh, this is going to ruin the American dream. No, that is incorrect. How long does the average American even stay in their house before they refinance? We have people's biggest problem is they refinance as homeowners every 7, 8, 5 years, depending on interest rates. If a rate goes down, I watched my sister do this. If a rate goes down to 0.5%, people are refinancing. Like they just want a lower house payment. They don't care that they have the debt. They care about their monthly expenses. Now, for me, for you, we want to obviously pay down our house. Well, what's keeping me? This is the argument. There's two arguments. One argument is, wow, this is amazing. Trump is going to change the game. Mortgages are going to come down about $300-400. That makes a big difference in most people's lives. It's $300-400 a month. And so 50-year mortgage is really great. What would that do to creative finance? Well, it would do a whole bunch of things. When the market turns again, probably in about 7 to 9 years, in the amount of SubTo deals, you'll be picking up in 2035. Okay, so about 10 years from now, there will be a massive surge of these 50-year mortgages getting purchased on SubTo. Payments are going to be low, but what will that then do to the economy is that payments will stay low for about 6 to 18 months. You better hurry and buy something. You better hurry and refinance every one of your properties if you're looking to refinance, because what's going to happen is the market is going to freaking explode. If people can get a $300-400 a month less expensive mortgage, the market will freaking explode next year, okay? And then what will happen is they're going to lower rates, which is only going to exacerbate and explode the entire real estate industry. My prediction, if 50-year mortgages come into play, which I hope they do, I think it's a net positive for everybody. And then rates go down. We're going to get another rate drop in December because the labor market is really, really low right now. And we've had one of the worst Octobers in 23 years in terms of growth, job growth. Okay, cool. So the Fed can't ignore that now. So the Fed's going to have to push again in December for another rate drop, then probably in even February, March. And then if Trump has his way, Jerome Powell is not going to come back in office. And what will Trump do? Trump will figure out a way to get somebody into the Fed that will be an aggressive, have aggressive policy on lowering rates. And I bet next year sometime we will see rates, probably at the end of the year in 2026, we will see rates in the 3%, high 3 percentile, low 4 percentile. That is around 2% lower than where we are right now. The market will explode. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Even the commercial world, like apartment buildings, syndicators will get back to work. People will be raising money like crazy, and we'll have a good 2 to 4 year run. It will be freaking crazy. So be aware of that. And then the other thing is people doing the BRRRR strategy. That will take off. The BRRRR strategy will take off. We'll do a bunch of semesters on the BRRRR strategy just to get everybody up and going. The 50-year mortgage will be massive. Okay. Now, here's the thing that you should be really, really, really worried about. Okay, everybody inside of SubTo. Good morning, Sunday. Are you guys excited that I'm doing a 7 a.m. Zoom this morning, that you can get to church still? It's early enough. You'll still get to church and watch your football games. What is the thing that y'all do on Sundays? Good to see you, Steve Hernandez. Thank you for all you do, bro. Good to see you. Meal prep, love it. Church, golf. Ooh, Steve, I like the golf. Dude, it's too cold to golf, bro. What are you talking about? House reset, love that. Church and family time, love that. Dave, Myron, love you, brother. Good to see you. Schedule my calendar and social media. Thanks, Pace, for last night. Of course, yes, absolutely. Andy and Marcia Unger, love them. They are hearing impaired, and I imagine they are listening to me with captions on or something like that. They are awesome. I called one of their leads last night in front of the OMAHA crowd. The OMAHA crowd was awesome. Okay, so that was a big takeaway yesterday, is a 50-year mortgage. People are arguing two things. They're like, oh, you're going to destroy the American dream because people will never own their home. This goes back to the argument of like, should people rent or should people buy? Here's the argument. People go, you should just rent your house. You guys have been seeing that for years. The last like 5 years, it's become like a big thing. They go, if people rent, they will actually save a lot more money. And if they invest that money, then long term, they'll actually have way more invested, way more savings. They'll be more secure. Okay, great. But let's take the average American, not you, not me, the average American. If you save them $500, oh, it's not a mortgage, but now they're renting and they're saving $500. The average American, are they going to take that $500 and reinvest that somewhere? Are they going to reinvest that? No. What a mortgage actually is a forced savings account. A forced savings account. How many people have you guys met in your real estate journey that their mortgage and the fact that they actually bought their house is the only reason they have any money in their life? Yeah, there you go. Myron says they'll go out to eat. Yep, they'll buy Jordans and Gucci's. Dang, bro, I feel attacked now. I'm wearing Jordans and Gucci's. What are Gucci's? Is that a thing? Just kidding. Okay, so the average American, if you guys look this up, this puts an end to this argument, but people will never, Ricky says pay off debt. Bro. Ricky, come on, bro. We know better than that. We know better than that, Ricky. Let's check this out. You want to see credit card debt over Last 30 years chart. Come on, Ricky. Ain't nobody paying off their debts. In fact, they're all figuring out, how do I get more? Okay. So look at this. Total household. This is what I want to do. Total household credit card debt has more than doubled since the early 2000s, reaching record highs. And it's like, no, the economy's bad. Bro, we had incredible economic growth. There is no reason that in 2013 through 2022, people would not have gotten rid of all their credit card debt. In fact, it doubled since the early 2000s. Doubled. That's not our nation doubled. It's per household. The average household credit card debt has doubled. People will not pay off their debt. People get an extra $300-$400. They're not going to do it. And so this thing of like Grant Cardone, good friend of mine, will make this argument of, hey, people should just rent right now. Maybe that makes sense for him, or even like high income earners that understand how money works and that they have been trained on how to invest their money. But most people, given the opportunity to save $300-$400 a month, Myron Briley's right. They will literally, okay, there you go. I love that. People don't think they'll ever get ahead, so why not enjoy the moment and buy something that gives enjoyment now and give up on the future? Sad. It is sad, but it is very true. Okay, so this 50-year mortgage thing of like, I think it's going to ruin the account. I think it's going to ruin the American dream. First and foremost, that is absolutely incorrect. Because here's what's going to happen. You guys will look. Let's look this up. Okay, credit card debt over the last 30-year chart. Here you go. Significant growth. Total household credit card debt has more than doubled. Okay, great. So that's not going to change. You and I cannot change that. But here's another thing that I would like to look up. Let's look up average time an American stays in their mortgage. It's probably 7 years. Okay, cool. The average American homeowner stays in their mortgage for about 11 to 12 years. A significant increase from the 6.5 years. Okay, so in my mind, this is interesting. In my mind, this was the number, was 7 years. That's been in my mind for a long time. Okay, but I got to update my brain. This figure has declined slightly from the peak of 13.4 years in 2020 due to post-pandemic slowdown in home sales, but is still much higher than 2 decades ago. Okay, so there you go, right here. That's the average amount of time people stay in their mortgage. So does it really even matter if they have a 30-year mortgage or a 50-year mortgage if people are only staying 11 to 12 years in their mortgage? No, this argument goes away. It's stupid. It's a stupid argument. Now, there's always the people like us that go, look, I'm going to get a 50-year mortgage because I'm smart. I'm going to keep my payments low. Yes, over time, a long period of time, I will pay way more interest over 50 years. Yes, I'm aware of that. But I also know with that extra $300 a month, I could spend money on marketing. I could get an extra deal a year. I could flip another house a year and I could take that money and pay down my mortgage. That is a smart way to do that. Get a lower payment, take that allocation, invest it into marketing, invest it into something else, get an extra flip, get an extra rental, get an extra whatever, and you will make more money long term. We, in our community, understand that principle. People that go get a 50-year mortgage, I do agree that if the average person was staying in their mortgage all the way through, it didn't say they're staying in their house. They're staying in their mortgage for 11 to 12 years. Why is that? It's because one of three things are happening, okay? Number one, they're moving to another house and they're getting a new mortgage, which then starts their mortgage all the way over, okay? Number two, they are refinancing every single time there's an interest rate drop. People will lower their freaking rate to save their life, okay? So as a mortgage officer, oh my gosh, people are crazy. Well-off couples would come into my office when I was a loan officer, and they would refinance when it would drop like a quarter of a point. And I'm like, you just refinanced 9 months ago. I will happily take the lending fees. I will happily put the numbers on the board in my mortgage office, but this is dumb. You're just restarting your mortgage over and paying an extra $12,000 to $15,000 in fees every single time you do this. But in their mind, they're saving $72 a month. That's all they cared about, right? So that's number two. And then number three, people pay off their mortgage, right? They pay double payments, triple payments. They do all sorts of things if they follow the Dave Ramsey method, which is totally respectable. And so people are not staying into 50-year mortgages or even 30-year mortgages. The average time is currently 12 years. The 50-year mortgage, I think, is genius. What do you guys think? Everybody in the chat, do you like the 50-year mortgage or do you think it's stupid? Heather Torres, good to see you, my friend. Mary Moore, good to see you. What's average time to pay off? Re-ask that question. I don't understand, Angel. The average time people pay off their mortgage? I don't know that question. Should we look that up? That's a good question. I don't know. Average time American takes to pay off their mortgage. It's gonna be like 82 years. Okay. A realistic payoff time frame for most homeowners when considering the impact of these individual strategies falls within 20 to 30 years. Okay, so most people are actually going through their total time frame. I feel like this should this deserves a deep dive, just FYI. I think it deserves a deep dive. So the 50-year mortgage is interesting because I think it will spike the market. Everybody, if you are a loan officer right now, you are salivating because everybody's going to refinance. Every single person, even if their rate is a little bit higher, everybody's going to refinance and get out of all of the 6% rates, the 5% rates, because even if you refinance into a 6% rate right now and you had a 5% rate on a 30-year mortgage, your payment's going to be lower. Okay. It is going to blow up. It's going to be huge for all of us, which is great. Any of us that have been in SubTo for 5 years and have a lot of properties in our portfolio, this will be amazing for people that are ready to refinance and pull equity out of the deal. What will I do? Yeah, this will be for DSCR loans too. Okay. Apartment, Michael Callan says, apartment building, 58 units, $800,000 purchase price. ARV is $3 million. Michael Callan. Let's bring that up for a second. 58 units. That's probably too small for me, but you've got a lot of multifamily investors in here. Michael, what's up, bro?
Hey, how are you?
What market is that in?
That's in the Detroit market.
Okay, of course it's in Detroit, bro. Come on, why you gotta do that to all of us? Just kidding. Okay, so who would I reach out to if I were you?
Good question. We're working on it. We got to give the guy an answer. We got a section. Yeah, we got a Section 8 guy in Detroit that already has 15 tenants that he could line up for us immediately. So we want to do it in 2 phases.
So you're trying to
two
keep
buildings. Yeah. Or flip it if somebody is interested in that. But yeah, we're looking at potentially keeping it.
Okay, so here's what I would do. I'd reach out to Adam Curry, who's buying multifamily in that area. I would also reach out to James Brewer, who is buying on the other side of the water in Milwaukee. He's literally like on the other side of the water, and he's buying that size unit, working nonprofits primarily as his tenants, which is actually the next topic I want to talk about. Those, unless you're trying to keep it. So you got to raise some money for this deal. It sounds like it's a cash purchase. You got to creatively buy this with other people's money by raising a couple of $1 million. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, cool. Well, it sounds like you have any questions about that or no?
No, my only questions are, does anybody know any other lenders that do that type of lending? Almost like, I'm not familiar with that. So I'm just kind of listening to all the DSCR people telling me, do DSCR? I'm like, I don't think they do that for commercial, number one. And number two, I don't know the lenders that do that creative finance for commercial.
I do.
So raising the capital is the biggest thing.
We have a lot of them in our community. You want me to give you somebody that has like $25 million out on the streets right now?
Definitely, yeah.
You're so easy to get excited.
That'd be great.
I love it. Okay, so
dude, there's so much past. I was just talking to Detroit group. So so SubTo, how I explain it to people is it's not, and I don't know how many deals are getting done every day, but every day that we're on here, somebody does a deal, so everybody's Jay. Like, how do I get a deal? Everybody's doing deals, so it just motivates everybody. It's such a great community. So happy that I joined it. It's fantastic.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you Chris's contact information. Chris is here in Omaha, and he's in SubTo and Gator. And Chris, right there in the side chat, we'll lend on stuff like this. What's that?
Okay.
Your computer's got really bad feedback, so I'm gonna mute you. Sorry. Okay, so reach out to Chris. Awesome. There's his email right in the side chat. In fact, email him. He'll do all sorts of interesting creative loans, and he'll also help you syndicate as well. Super sharp dude. He's in SubTo, has been doing creative deals for 4 years, and has a lot of lending involved in deals just like that. There you go. There's his contact information. Okay, so on the, this is interesting. I learned a couple of things yesterday. So 3 years ago, I buy a deal in Amarillo, Texas. Maybe it was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I buy a deal in Amarillo, Texas, and it's like 112 units between 2 buildings. And we go to a nonprofit, and we actually fill up 15 units with this nonprofit. And at the time, I'm not the smartest person on the planet. I'm just going around learning as I go, which is great. I think all of us are here in the community. And what ends up happening is this nonprofit takes up 15 units. They pay $200 a month more than my Section 8 tenants. Please listen to this. I'm gonna run ads about this. I'm gonna talk about this like crazy. I'm gonna get freaking educated on this, because what is going on is I thought Section 8 was like the thing to do for a long time. Since this 2 years ago on the nonprofit thing, I'm like, wow, I got really lucky on this nonprofit. No. Nonprofits are more common than Section 8 tenants. It's just that Section 8 is what people are aware of. Section 8 gets stuck on the type of property that they can allow a voucher to be used on. Section 8 gets stuck. This is what I think sucks about Section 8, is that you go to Atlanta. I was interviewing a nonprofit. This was back, gosh, when was this? This was last winter. For Aspire Tour. So I spoke for Aspire Tour, and I was there. I interviewed this nonprofit, and I was talking to them, how do you fund your tenants? And they go, well, most of our tenants get our Section 8 approved, but we actually don't get them into Section 8 housing. We get them into other housing using our nonprofit funds, either federal grants, state grants, or donor money. Like, wait a minute. So your Section 8 tenants have vouchers, but they're not getting into Section 8 houses? Or, yeah. Most of the houses that we interface with are not Section 8 approved. Most of them. So the vouchers expire or they don't get used, and we end up just using our nonprofit funds. We write grants for the federal government, comes down to state level. The state then distributes. We also get state grants. We get all sorts of donors, people with, like, the person that's running the nonprofit. I go, so you're basically a capital raising entity all day long. She's like, are you kidding me? The majority of our time is spent raising money from donors and companies. Okay. And so Michael Callan says, I have a nonprofit looking for grants to give homes to disabled vets. I'm a disabled vet looking to get help from contacts and any of their, okay. 2 trainings are going to be happening here soon, Michael. One training is going to be working on nonprofits. I actually have the #1 grant writer in the country coming in. We're going to do a whole semester. It's a shorter semester, before classes, probably in December. And I'll bring that to you. Also, reach out to Luz, L-U-Z, in Owners Club. She is a massive grant writer. Let me give you her contact information. Man, I'm like a freaking walking Rolodex, bro. I just know everybody. If you're in SubTo, you know everybody. That's basically it. Okay, cool. Let's go. Okay, there's Luz's cell phone number. There you go. Man, Michael Callan, you came in here and just got the goodies today, huh? Okay, so the nonprofit is great because the nonprofit is paying, they don't have to be restricted to get approved like Section 8 does. Section 8 has to have an approved house in order for the voucher to be used. That's #1. #2, these nonprofits are paying more money per unit than the Section 8 voucher by about 10%. So a regular rent, let's say, is $1,000, regular traditional renter, right? Somebody just signs a lease, $1,000 a month. Section 8 is going to be somewhere around $1,100, $1,200. A nonprofit is about $1,300. Okay, so more money. I love it for that. I love the fact that there's more money. I love the fact that it's still government money, still guaranteed. I love the fact that I also, they don't have to split the money. So a lot of the nonprofit tenants don't have to bring any money to the table, and I just get all the money from the nonprofit. If they want to work a deal with their tenant, the tenant pays the nonprofit and takes it out of their side. I don't have to deal with that. Whereas in Section 8, guess what happens? I have to collect my money from the tenant and my money from Section 8 separately. It's two different collections. In a nonprofit, I only get the money from the nonprofit, even though on the back side, they might be collecting money on the back side. Does that make sense? Okay, so the next thing is they pay for the repairs when the tenant moves out. So when these tenants move out, like James Brewer, who's he's in Cali, he's an owners club, super sharp dude. He's in California and he's buying deals in Milwaukee. Okay. And these deals that he's buying in Milwaukee, he's doing primarily nonprofit. He's like, yeah, I'll do Section 8. So like, think about this. Like, you see all these people talk about Section 8 online and they run ads for Section 8. First and foremost, like that, the first thing you should learn in life is not Section 8 or Airbnb. The first thing you should learn is how to generate leads and get creative finance deals. Most important thing you should learn. Write that down. If you have not learned that, where do I get leads? How do I get creative finance deals? Then determine what to do with the property, but don't determine what to do with the property that you do not even have yet. Does that make sense? Stupid. It's backwards. Leads, creative finance, then determine what you do with the house, period. So anyway, James says, yeah, I'll do Section 8, which is funny because everybody's talking about like, oh, Section 8 is amazing. Da, 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 da. Okay, well, until the government pauses it. Until the government pauses it. Or until you can't get approved on a house, right? So these houses are not approved for Section 8. All nonprofits will fill up any house. And so I'm talking to James Brewer in Milwaukee on this. Man, this trip has been so fun. Oh my gosh, it's been so fun. Is it hard? Sure. Everything's hard. Sitting in Arizona, not having as much to be educated on and meeting as many people is also hard. I stress out and I have this FOMO about like, I've never been to Nebraska in my life, never been to South Dakota, never been to North Dakota. Those three states are like now some of my favorite states in the entire country. It's freaking awesome. So the nonprofits are better for just 5 reasons. So you could go to padmission.com. I'm going to interview padmission.com, the owner. I had my team reach out to them yesterday and they replied back. They'd love to get interviewed. They are in a lot of states. And then there's other websites I'm doing research on. And I'm thinking about doing like a nonprofit tenant semester sometime in like Q2 of next year, but do some interviews with the company Padmission. So some people that are wanting to do Section 8 or nonprofit will bring them in and you guys can get educated on all that kind of stuff, which will be great. Okay. Yeah, Celeste says, yes, they do pay for maintenance, utilities. You also don't have to deal with the limit of the 4 non-related individuals living in the residence. That's awesome. They can put more than 4 in a residence and you don't have to get a permit from the town. That's freaking awesome. It's like the freaking hack. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love playing video games, but I love playing video games with the cheat code of unlimited ammo. You know, like that's basically what this is. It's like you have this amazing cheat code of creative finance, the video game of creative finance and buying these properties. And then you have the ability of filling them up with nonprofit tenants that pay more money, guarantee the rents. You have no restrictions. They pay for the repair. Are you kidding me? If I could list out every problem with Section 8, even though Section 8 is great, I could list out all these problems with Section 8. Nonprofits fix all of it. Jamie says, wow, better than co-living. Yeah, you know, I don't know. I don't think I'm educated on it enough. So I'm looking forward to all of us getting educated on all of that. You should make a board game. We do have a board game. We just haven't used it in the last couple of years. Our board game is freaking awesome. The problem is you just have so many other things to talk about. Our board game is freaking sick. If you haven't seen it, it is awesome. It's like way more fun than Monopoly. Anyway, so I just have so many things to talk about. Like one of the things I want everybody to listened to tonight or this morning, I'm sorry. CreativeNationTour.com. Make sure you guys get out. It's been fun. The majority of the people that are coming to these meetups so far have been non-community members, like 80% non-community members, which has been so interesting. And it might just be the markets and the cities I've been going to. I know when I go to Dallas, it'll be primarily SubTo members. I go to Atlanta, Texas, like anywhere in Texas, anywhere in Florida, the Carolinas, New Jersey, New York. I think it's just like some of these middle America towns that like nobody ever goes to are a lot of non-SubTo members. Yeah, it's interesting, like 85%. Anyway, okay, a couple of things that are coming up this week. Please pay attention to these things. Number one, I'm doing a RV park and mobile home park training extension from last week's training. It's 2 more days. Do not go to that if you are in the community. Obviously you are if you're in the Zoom. Do not go to that. It's just a warm up for a 12-week class that we're doing for the SubTo community. So do not go to that. That is for people that are like on YouTube and Facebook. It's just a warm up and show them like, hey, there's possibility for you to learn cool, fun things, right? That's happening Tuesday, Wednesday night. We're taking it off the SubTo calendar, the Gator calendar, the Top Tier TC calendar. It won't even be on the calendar. So if you see me do it or talk about it on social media, or you guys see me, if you guys ever see me do something on Instagram where like, hey, DM me the word mobile for the link to the training. Guys, it's usually on your calendar already. So you don't need to DM me any keyword. You also get all the freebies and all the cool things I already give away. So don't ever like DM me the code words for these gifts. You already get them all, okay? On Thursday night, I have a training about car washes. We have a couple of car washes under contract. And I want to break down how we got them, who brought them to the table, what the underwriting looked like, break down what we're going to make on them, what markets we've been seeing the most deals in, and then also show you guys how you can get into the car wash game as well. Okay, that link for that Zoom is, let me just double check. I'm going to pause the side chat. How many people are going to that? It's on Thursday night, like 5 p.m. Christy, awesome. Okay, cool. A lot of people. I love that. So I'm going to put that, it's only for our private community. I'd rather you, if you're going to go to any Zooms this week, the one thing I would go, okay, the one thing I would go to is the Thursday night training, okay? We're also going to be talking about some businesses that I have under contract and some underwriting things there. That's the Zoom right there, okay? It's Zero Down 2.0 training, and there's the link for it right there, okay? So there's that. The other thing too is one of the things that I'm working up to what I think is going to be a really epic challenge. A challenge I've never done before, something we just created. Private community only, SubTo, Gator, Top Tier TC. So this is one you're going to want to register for. How do you register for it? You have to have a Squat Up Summit ticket. If you have a Squat Up Summit ticket, you're going to get into this. We have to limit this one, sadly, because I'm sponsoring the leads, and these leads are limited. So let's give you that link. We already have, I think, about 1,000 people that have bought tickets for Squat Up Summit, but not all of them are trying to be to do this challenge, okay? The challenge is called the Rocket Fuel Challenge. And we are going to be doing one big thing here, which is pairing you guys up with each other. Okay, so the Rocket Fuel Challenge involves, every team will probably have 4 people. And here's what we're going to be doing. Imagine if you're in here going, I wish I had more opportunities. I wish I had more leads. Well, this is a great way to solve that. Okay. If you go, I'm new, I don't want to be stuck. I want to join a team. I want to get activity. I do these kind of challenges probably once every 6 months to spike massive amounts of activity. The way I'm doing this challenge this time is I'm setting it up in a way where The team lead will be a visionary like me. Okay, visionary meaning somebody who can close a deal, negotiate, work through creative structures, submit offers, overcome objections, build rapport, all of that stuff on the phone with an agent or a seller. These leads are going to be seller oriented. They're going to all be sellers, direct sellers, and these leads will already be cold called. Please listen to me. I say that again. The leads will have already been cold called, and I'm going to invest $45,000 of leads into the teams that are signing up for this challenge. That will be an average of 10 leads per day per team is my goal. And what will happen is, instead of the closer calling those leads and saying, hey, my team called you, said you were interested in selling, we are going to train the top tier TC community, about 125 of them. We're going to train them on how to organize them in your CRM, set them up as appointments on your calendar, ask them pre-qualifying questions, and get you on the phone with them. The other types of people that are involved are the visionaries that obviously will look at their calendar. You wake up in the morning, you look at your calendar, you go, oh my gosh, I have 3 calls today. This is awesome. My top tier TC hooked me up. I got 3 calls that were cold called by somebody else in the Philippines. Then your top tier TC has verified that yes, they still want to sell, and sets up an appointment with you, and they show up on your calendar. All you have to do is click on your calendar and make those calls. That's it. Then your top tier TC will then kick it back to your CRM based on whether you get a contract or based on what the follow-up rate is. Good example. I'm in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and I asked everybody, I go, hey guys, in this smaller market, I'm probably gonna do the same thing tonight in Des Moines, Iowa. I'm gonna have people take these leads, call the leads tonight, and the only thing they're gonna do with the leads is go, hey, I got your contact information from my team. They said that you want to sell. We have a lot of opportunities to buy. I'm just looking for people that are at like a level 7, 8, 9, or 10 in terms of motivation before the end of the year. They want to sell before the end of the year. And so we're going to call all those leads and ask that question tonight in Des Moines, Iowa. What I found yesterday in Sioux Falls is that about 30% of these leads are saying, I'm a level 9 or a 10. Like right now, I'm ready to go in the next 6 weeks. Another 30% of them are like, don't ever call me back. I'm not selling anymore, or I hired an agent or whatever, okay? And then another 40% of them are like, I'm a level 2 right now, but I'm a 10 in January. I want to live in my house all the way through the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. And then I'll be ready to sell in the first month of the year. So those people are a level 2 motivation right now. They'll go to a level 10 in January. Cool. Who's going to do the follow-up? Who's going to do the organization? Who's going to put the notes in? All of that kind of stuff. It's either going to be the top tier TC or a junior acquisition person. So if you're new here, okay, if you're new here and you want to join a team and you're like, I'm not a closer yet, and I also am not a hyper-organized person, I want to be a closer, but I don't feel confident as a closer yet, you would be included in this challenge as a junior acquisition person, okay? Meaning you are on a team with a closer. You are a junior acquisition person, meaning you're gonna do some follow-up, you're gonna be able to be on some of these calls, but you don't have to be on your own, if that makes sense. Now, the other thing that we're gonna do is I'm gonna have Jerry Norton do some acquisition training. We're going to do some lead management training, and we're going to do some CRM management training as well. And that will be private Zooms for everybody that's in the challenge. If you're not in the challenge, those Zooms will not be sent to you, because I don't want to overwhelm people and give them shiny object syndrome. I want to make sure that the people that are in the challenge are actually focusing on the challenge, and people that are not, if that makes sense. So how do I get into the challenge? I want to be a top tier TC in the challenge. I want to be a visionary in the challenge. I want to be a lead manager in the challenge. How am I going to get the email? How am I going to get the invite? Paste the link you gave me is Squad Up Summit. I know you have to be going to Squad Up Summit. Why? 1, you should be going to Squad Up Summit. 2, if I know you're going to Squat Up Summit in 5 months and you're already thinking like 5 months ahead about massive networking and getting your partners and raising money at Squat Up Summit and doing deals with people in the hallways, the event will be 3,000 people in the room. Our fire marshal limited us at 2,700. We will probably sell 3,000 tickets because we'll go 10% over, because 10% of people will be in the hallway. 2,700 people will actually be in the ballroom. Our ballroom is limited to 2,700 people. That 2,700 group of people is only SubTo, Gator, and Top Tier TC. So if you are a Squat Up Summit ticket holder, you will be getting an invite to this challenge. And this challenge starts on November 16th. Okay. Out of the Squat Up Summit ticket holders, I would imagine that probably about 400 people will actually participate in this challenge. And this challenge will be primarily single family. You will be doing multiple different types of strategies. You'll do cash offers, creative offers, you'll wholesale, you'll flip, and you'll buy and hold depending on your team and what your team's leader wants to do. Okay. So Squat Up Summit ticket link is in the side chat. If you are a Squat Up Summit ticket holder, you will be invited via email. We'll probably pull people into like a private Discord or a private like WhatsApp group, and we'll get people paired up, and then we'll do a training for a week before we set you guys loose. Okay. Any questions about that at all? Let me unpause the side chat. Any questions about that at all? Yes or no? Or we got it? We got it. Dang, I'm just getting so good at explaining things. My goodness. How many people are coming to this challenge? How many people are going to be getting tickets and getting into the challenge? Okay, cool. Let's see here. Where'd that go? When does the invite email come out? So excited. We're going to the summit. I will send out the email. Our cutoff for getting a Squat Up Summit ticket to get the email will be November 15th. So that will be in 6 days. You have 6 days. So that will be Saturday of this week. We will send the email out. Once we give everybody a week to get their Squat Up Summit tickets, we'll send out an email on Saturday the 15th. And that will invite you to the whole series of Zooms that we're doing, and the training we're doing, and the pairing party, all of those things. So I was thinking about this yesterday. I probably will do the pairing party at the very beginning. Instead of doing the training and then pairing you guys up at the end, I probably will pair you up at the beginning, then do the training so you guys can bump in, mess things up for a whole week before we let you guys loose. Will it run all week? Yes, Kevin. So the training will go from the 16th all the way through that week. So it'll be 7 days in a row, training, okay? Q&A, all that kind of stuff. Then it will run another 3 weeks beyond that, except I will not be doing the training other than, okay, so in the morning training will be like, how do I do it? How do I do it? How do we work together? JV agreements, who does what, da-da-da-da-da, boom, 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 all the questions that everybody's gonna have. And then at nighttime, there will be training around acquisition, comping, underwriting deals, and overcoming objections, that type of training, which we already do. We already do that in the daily dial. That training I will amplify in the evening for a month. So in the evening, we're gonna add 2 or 3 Zooms in the evening for you and your teams to come into with Jerry Norton, myself, Jamil, comping properties, looking at deals, submitting offers, all of that kind of stuff. And so that will run all the way until like December 10th, probably. Does that answer your question, Kevin? Sounds like it did. Okay, cool. All right, awesome. I am pumped about this week. Super excited. You guys should be networking in the side chat. Everybody, I'm telling you, I get a text or a DM every single day about somebody that did a deal out of the jam session. Have you guys been enjoying the jam sessions? Should we just keep them cranking? It's interesting, like some days like Sunday, I get 260 people on here, and then other days on like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, y'all are at your like 9 to 5 jobs, I get 800 people on here. It's crazy. All right. I want to do one last thing before I get ready and drive over to Des Moines is I want to love on Chris Neer real fast and tell you guys a cool story. Okay. So we're in Fargo, North Dakota a couple days ago. Chris Neer is running the meetup there. Chris Neer, great person to contact with. He's in Owners Club. He's doing a ton of co-living in Savannah, Georgia and Atlanta, Georgia. He's buying in Fargo, North Dakota, a couple of other places in North Dakota. He's also buying in Sioux Falls. So doing a lot of stuff. Good person for you to connect with. Chris Neer, SubTo, Owners Club, and he's a Gator. Awesome dude. So we're running the meetup. And we've got like maybe 150, 170 people in Fargo, North Dakota. We get a member, Dawson, new wholesaler, in the front row. He's like, I've got a deal. I want to do a deal with somebody tonight. Okay, we bring Chris over. Again, this is in front of 170 people. I wonder if I can find the photo of this, if we took a photo. We probably did. Oh, yes, we did. This is great. See, I can give you guys an image of this. This will be great. Oh, man, this is awesome. Let me show you guys a couple of photos. That's such a good shot. My team's so good. Gina says, if you, oh, yeah, okay. If you do the upcoming challenge and you're going to buy, need a buyer of single family home, think of me. Yes, Gina, you're awesome. Always marketing, which is smart of you. Amy says, anyone lending in Maine? Amy, suggestion, give a little bit more context of what lending you need. The answer is yes, I lend in Maine, but I don't know what you need. Okay, so this is, you see this, Jamil and I are in front of the room, and you can see this kid with the bushy hair, this blonde-haired kid. His name is Dawson. Okay, Dawson has a deal, and we bring Chris Neer. This is Chris Neer. I bring Chris Neer over here. This is literally, as this is happening, Jamil and I are brokering and kind of structuring this deal with Dawson. Dawson has a $70,000 deal. This is what's so fun about these meetups is there's deals happening every single night, just like this. So Dawson goes, I want to sell this deal for 80 grand. And Chris looks at it and goes, no, I would have to be at like 70 grand to make that deal work. And Dawson's like, well, I'm at 70 grand. Like the seller wouldn't go any lower. And I go, no, you couldn't get the seller to go any lower. Chris Neer, I bet, could get the seller to go lower. And so I make it so Dawson and Chris work with each other the next day to call the seller. So Chris Neer sends me this text message that I want to show you guys. Chris Neer, this is what's so cool. He's been in SubTo for 4 years. He's gotten incredibly good at creative finance. He sends me and Jamil a text message late last night, and here's the text. Remember, Chris is calling Dawson's seller, who Dawson has already contracted at 70 grand. Chris is like, I can't buy it at your 70 grand unless you're making money, and you won't make money, and I need it at 70 grand. And so I made a couple of suggestions to Chris. I said, Chris, why don't you do a novation? Why don't you do some sort of seller carryback while the property gets flipped? And then you guys can, make the same amount of money and the seller can get his piece. Well, check it out. This is what Chris says to us last night. It's funny. He's like, you remember Dawson wholesale from Fargo? Like, we don't remember that we literally put them together. He goes, he had it locked up at 80,000 cash. Oh, that's right. He had it locked up at 80,000, not 70,000. I just reached a new agreement with the seller. So Chris Neer, this is what's great about our community. This is a community. This is why we don't call it a course or a mentorship, is that we are all collaborating and helping each other. Chris calls the seller. He says, I just reached a new agreement with the seller, $68,000 purchase price and a $28,000 carryback, meaning the seller's actually going to get $96,000 instead of $80,000. Now, why is that important? It's important because the way Chris structured the deal, it gives the seller more money only if Chris and Dawson make more money. So what Chris did is he goes, hey, Dawson, your deal is too expensive as a fix and flipper. I can't buy it at that price. So why don't you come in as my partner on the fix and flip? I'll give you 5 grand up front and I'll split some of the profits with you so you can make more money. The seller can make more money and I don't have to come up with as much money out of pocket on the front end and have as much risk. And so he says, we're giving Dawson $5,000 up front and 15% kicker on any profits above 30 grand on the back end. And of course, some education for Dawson along the way. He says, it was my pleasure. Will be a base hit for us, but feels like a home run. What a freaking leader. That is what this whole entire community is about, is that. You start in this community a couple years ago, not knowing how to do deals. You then, a year later, start helping other people do deals. Then, a couple of years later, the entire region is coming to you to do deals with you. That is the whole entire goal. Chris is like, I'm not spending money on leads. I'm not having to go out and market myself. People bring opportunities to me because I am just helping people get their deals done. And he's structuring them in a way that benefits everybody. So if I were you guys, okay, I would reach out to people like Chris Neer. Go do me a favor. Okay. Dennis says, Pace, are you calling sellers this week? Got a pre-foreclosure, but guy wants to stay in the house. Sure. I can call that seller if you want. Dennis, if you guys want me to call your seller this week during the jam sessions, email melissa@subto.com. Okay. Okay, so Amy, she says, let me pull Amy up here real fast. She's in Maine, so it's like, what time is that? 9? Hi, Amy, how you
Hi,
doing?
awesome. How are you?
Really good. So what do you got?
So I got a farm in Maine. It's a 3 bedroom, 2.5 bath house. They're having an open house today. It has a big, huge barn, 6 horse stables, room to build up top, and also a house for educational stuff. I'm a healer, and my daughter's a sound healer, and I want to heal families. I have a 501(c)(3 that's called Parents Are the Key because they are and we are. And through my struggles that have become my victories, I want to help families.
Okay, cool. So you want to take this farm and turn it into a healing center, which is how you would make money from this farm, correct?
Yes, I'm going to rent it to travel nurses, which I've been doing in Boston. Would love to host you in both places. I'm walking distance from Fenway Park. Yeah, I inherited my father's house with a reverse mortgage on it in a 411 credit score, and I got out of it before I met you. And now I'm glad I met you.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So the farm, there's an open house today. You want to buy the deal cash is probably what they're doing.
Yes. She'd
Okay.
like to be out of there as fast as possible. Her and her ex-husband live there, and I think they're significant others.
Okay. And what's the purchase price?
It was 599 and they've dropped it to 589.
Okay, cool. So that means they're not getting any activity on the market. They're doing an open house today to try and spike attendance.
Mm-hmm.
Usually open houses do not sell houses.
Mm-hmm.
What sells houses is price or terms, right?
Mm-hmm.
An open house does not sell a house. A real estate agent does not sell a house. It's either the price or the terms. And if it didn't sell at 599, it ain't worth 599. 589, you're interested. Maybe you've been probably tracking it since it first came on the market, right?
I'm working with Alyssa Ritchie's Elite Hub team. Christine Key's on the call as well. She's here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I do loans like this all the time. You are wanting to buy it, get it amplified, and then refinance into a more stable loan. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got it. You can email money@pacemorby.com. Happy to do that. Have you offered seller finance to these sellers or no?
So I have it all written up. So I went and met the real estate agent. So I met the ex-husband first buying a 10 from him in the beginning of the summer, and then it was a defective piece. So this has sort of been divinely guided, as is meeting you personally.
Okay.
So I met the 2 real estate agents. One is a bulldog and one is kind of, sweet. And so we have a what do you call it? An intent written, and they were not interested in seller financing. So they haven't seen it yet. And I was going to send it this morning before the open house.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Alyssa's team wrote it up. It's good. At a
Okay, cool. So they're working on the creative offer is what they're doing.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, got it. Okay, cool. Then you don't need my help. Alyssa was on my team for a long time. She's awesome. We love her and her team.
Well, I need a lender.
Okay, well, we do that all the time, and Alyssa knows my team, and you now know my team, Money at PaceMorby or Heather at PaceMorby.com. We can help you out.
Okay. All right. Awesome. I love that. So you'll come and I'll host you, and I'll host you in Boston. I'm walking distance to Fenway Park. I got a multifamily in
I mean,
Brookline.
hosting me as in like I stay at your place?
You can stay there. Yeah.
I'm in an RV.
Oh, you can pull up my driveway.
Okay. I think Rachel's got us all taking. You're going to be coming to the meetup though, I'm sure, right?
I am. I want to create it with you. I don't know who's doing it in Boston. I'm a new gator. I joined on your daughter's birthday, what happens to be my daughter's birthday.
Oh, cool. Okay, so the person who runs the meetups in Boston area is Justin Tumanowski, one of my best friends. And
Oh, I talked to Justin. Okay. I'm
yeah,
gonna do
awesome.
that
One of
again.
my favorite people on the planet. He's so great. So he runs the meetups. Anytime I'm in Boston, he's the guy. But you need to. Celeste says we're planning the meetup in New Hampshire or New England together with Justin. Okay, so reach out to Celeste. She's awesome.
Okay, well.
I love me some Celeste. Okay, Amy, there you go. There's what you need. You just need to say, I need specific money for this reason. What will happen is, just from like a marketing standpoint, if you are saying, I need money, bad marketing. I need money to build this, and I need it for this long, and here's how much money you would make from lending to me, way better marketing. Okay, just FYI. Okay, happy Sunday here, everybody. I'm going to get on the road, hit Des Moines, Iowa. Then I will be in, I don't know, some other Iowa city. Cedar Rapids. I'll be in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, our smallest meetup so far. And then I'm flying home for 4 days to be in my office to be part of the Bigger is Better Challenge in person. About 150 new members are coming out to my office to do deals with me. And then I'm enjoying my son's birthday. He's turning 18 years old. Super proud of him. Little pilot, little captain pilot. He's awesome. And then I'll be back on the road in the next Sunday, on Sunday, a week from today. So I'm doing today's meetup, tomorrow's meetup, back home Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then I'm back on the road on Sunday in St. Louis, Missouri. So appreciate you guys so much. These jam sessions have been so fun for me. If you guys want to be part of the challenge, make sure you guys get a Squat Up Summit ticket. And we'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Let's see, the jam session for tomorrow morning, just FYI, is at 9 a.m. Okay, Central Time. So that's Eastern Time is 10, Central 9, Pacific or Mountain Standard is 8. Pacific Standard Time is 7. So I'll see you guys tomorrow morning for a couple of hours. I'm going to be highlighting a couple of members that are in Cedar Rapids. I actually am filming at 4 deals tomorrow. Adam Cadledge and I are closing out a 24 unit, 0% seller finance tomorrow. So that's going to be fun. I'll be filming with him. I'm going to be hanging out with Thomas Cardenas and also Connor Harris. So it's going to be a jam-packed day tomorrow. Come in tomorrow. I want to highlight a couple of members that you guys should be connecting with and doing deals with. And I'll see you guys tomorrow in the morning. Have a good Sunday. If you guys are going to see me in Des Moines today, I'll see you guys in Des Moines.